but without getting too far into it, we'll just do our spiel.
Oh, we have to do a spiel.
Here we go.
Okay.
And
are we ready now?
Hello.
Hello, people.
Howdy.
It is us again.
Bonjour.
Comment ça va?
Auf Wiedersehen. Oh no, we're not done yet. That's not gone. No. We're not gone yet. No. So this is Jas
and Sher,
and you are listening to. Thank you for coming back.
Yay!
We haven't scared you off yet, even though it is a ghost podcast.
Yeah, no.
Giving up the
ghost.
The ghost. Ooh. We are here this week, and we always botch this. How many episodes we're at?
I don't know.
I noticed that.
Totally lost now.
I think we're episode 16.
I was gonna say 16.
293. 3 hours later.
3 hours later.
We are in the PodLounge, our favorite place.
And it's Saturday, and Saturday night is
all right for podcasting.
It is, and cheers.
Saturday,
clink,
clink,
clink, clink, clink, clink, clink.
We are in our little home. I say home away from home, but I live here. It shares home away from home.
Home away from home. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
We're here with we'll just
very
say
special guest.
A guest.
Yay!
We love guests.
We love when guests come to visit us.
We haven't scared them off yet.
No, not yet. No.
We have Mel G. We'll say Mel G.
Sounds good.
Excellent.
I like that.
She is here to tell us her encounters with the afterlife. Some really interesting stuff, and
I can't wait.
Amazing. I know some details from speaking with Mel. We used to work at one point together briefly. In saying that, she's told me some really, really incredible, amazing stuff. So we want to share it with you folks here. We'll let her have the stage, I guess, right?
Yes.
Stage. Share with Sher.
Share with Sher.
And Jas.
Sher likes to share.
Sher likes to share.
I do.
And we're drinking, of course,
no,
because...
we're not. We have like sangria, peach something or other, and
I have some
pineapple
concoction.
Health juice.
A rum concoction. Because I love rum.
Me, Sharon.
Thank you for coming.
I'm so happy.
We didn't realize you were so close. So without giving locations, that was excellent. Next time you
really
ride your bike, and if it crashes, shit happens.
Yeah.
So hopefully this picks up enough. I
think
we're looking to branching out because there's no money podcasting. So anything we put out is for our own.
And I'm a poor starving artist, so that really sucks.
I know, right? Aside from spending a lot of money on people's estates because they run you into debt,
so
but that's another story.
Yeah.
We want to get a splitter here. My son has generously donated his speaker or his microphone, but I tried it earlier today. We need actually one of those damn fangle splitters to make sure everybody gets heard.
All our voices.
Yeah. Are you okay with the window open?
Oh yeah.
I think for now it's okay until somebody,
This is peeking in there and they're really tall. Then we're all good.
My stalker's on vacation right now, so it's okay.
I thought I saw a head peek up from there, from the window.
Anyway, so like once we get into high tech, we each got a speaker. See, my son said he had bought that because him and a friend were supposed to get into doing a podcast. No sooner we discussed doing a podcast.
Then all of a sudden the son wanted to.
And he's on the podcast train and he's like, we're going to do a podcast. Like, oh, are you now? What are you talking about? Oh, music and stuff. Okay, 19, whatever. Buys this that Boxing Day and I get this one for Christmas. It's like, what are these called? A blue snowball.
Snowballs, right?
So just the basic idea.
My son has one too.
Oh, really?
But not a snowball, the other one, the longer one.
Oh, the
yes.
one?
It's called blue as well, isn't it?
Blue as well,
yeah. And then today I said, can I borrow your microphone because we have a few people coming over? He's like, I'll just give it to you. And I'm like, oh, is that a Mother's Day gift then? And he's like, why, yes, it is. And I'm like, I should get
tomorrow Mother's Day.
He was pretty quick. That was pretty quick. I like that.
And then I'm like, because I gave you that hint, you got to get me something better, right? We'll see. We'll see how tomorrow goes. But in any event. Oh, and ladies, cheers. Happy Mother's Day.
Oh, happy
cheers.
Mother's
to everybody
Day.
Out there.
Everyone's got a mummy.
That's right.
There we go. And a kidlet. Kidlets everywhere. I only have one kidlet.
So again, Mel is here with us, listening to Giving Up the Podcast at gmail.com. Might as well put a shout out if you want to reach us, right?
Give Up the Ghost. Facebook. Give Up the Ghost on Twitter, Tweety Land, and Instagram.
Loving the gram.
Yeah.
Love the gram.
Love
Thank
the
you for
gram.
everybody who's reached out to us through the gram as well.
Yeah.
But Mel's here. We'll let her have the stage. You want to explain just a little bit about how you got involved with, I wouldn't say the occult, but the paranormal. You had some very, very traumatic experiences, correct?
Yeah, I've always been a little bit interested in the paranormal. I fooled around with the Ouija board when I was younger and things like that, but...
Bad girl. No.
I got out of it, actually, just knowing the danger that was involved with some of the experiences I had.
For sure.
When I got into university, I grew up a Catholic girl. My grandma was very religious. It instilled in us it's very important to go to church. And I developed a very close relationship with Jesus. I know that sounds hokey, but I had experiences with Jesus, answering some prayers, and I had a very strong relationship with Jesus. And then in university, I took this anthropology class, and
that's what my son is actually he's taking right now.
Really?
It's anthropology, archaeology. Yeah.
And the professor was very convincing in me believing that it was man that created God, not the other way around.
Okay.
And so I developed a very strong skepticism, not just about the paranormal, but about everything spiritual,
for sure,
religious.
Yeah.
And my boyfriend, Sean, also, he was a very big skeptic, more of a cynic than a skeptic. He just was,
Now, at that age, asking you, because we've waffled with the subject on multiple levels with different topics and stuff when it comes to paranormal. Do you think that is due to age? Experience? Do you think that's at that time, looking back on it now, do you think that's just because of your lack of experience at the time that you came to that conclusion when you were that young, or?
I think it's influences, like I say, my professor and being in school and university and education, and just kind of being open to different viewpoints. New ideas, yes. Yeah. So I rejected all that part of myself from childhood, my religion and my paranormal experiences, and just kind of rejected that as part of my life. And then right around the year 2000, my brother died in a tragic car accident on his 27th birthday. I was 24 at the time.
I'm so sorry.
And everything changed. My viewpoint on life changed.
For sure.
I look back on that time as there was Melanie before the accident, and then there was Melanie after.
Oh, sure.
Totally different.
Because it's kind of framed your perception at that point, right? You know, or reframed it, I should say.
Well, it was because of what happened when he died and the experiences. He came back, and he came back in many different ways. In fact,
signs.
Many signs. In fact, I can write a book, which I'm doing and working on.
Excellent. Yes.
About
and
all
like
of
we
those.
mentioned before, Mel, once she's ready, and we will gladly promote. I'm a writer as well, but you know what? It's all about the love.
We try and share with everyone.
All about the love. We just want to make sure everybody gets what they need. That's for sure.
Yeah, so you hear of many people who have near-death experiences where they've died and then they experience something that is beyond a dream. It's more real and vivid than anything they've ever experienced. Right. And they come back and they tell their story. For me, what I experienced with my brother dying was called an after-death communication. The term was coined from Bill and Judy Guggenheim's book called Hello from Heaven. So I recommend checking that out. It's all about people who've lost someone that they love tragically or in any way,
for sure.
And they all have experiences. Many people, a huge percentage, I think it's over 50% of people
that's quite a big amount.
Who've lost someone close to them have received some kind of sign from them after they've died. For me, I was no exception. And my mom and my dad and my boyfriend, all of us, we all experience different things, and together we experience things.
Okay. So what you're saying is that it's not that you wanted to buy into like, oh, there's a cricket.
Yeah, and it's chirping, and it must be for me kind of thing.
You all in your own way were receiving your own message.
And sometimes together.
Oh, really?
At the same time.
Wow.
Oh, that's good.
That's pretty
amazing things happened. My mom could probably come on your show and tell her own story.
Bring her down. Come on. We swear a little bit.
Yeah, we do.
We pride ourselves on the swearing and drinking. Does your mom drink?
Oh, a little bit.
Yeah. Okay, well, a little bit's good.
We have wine. Wine is good.
So I'd like to start by just telling you a little bit about my brother, just to get some context.
Love to hear that,
you
for
can
sure.
cut it out later if you like.
No, for sure. No,
it's all good.
So he was 2 years older than me. He was born in 73. I was born in 75.
You're just a baby.
We had a typical brother-sister relationship.
Did you beat each other up?
A little bit, yeah. We fought over the back seat whenever we're going on road trips. Don't cross this invisible line.
Wet willies and all that.
Yeah. But we grew up to be really good, close friends. At the time of his accident, he was working as a waiter at an Italian restaurant called Fasoli's.
Oh.
In East Kildonan. And then he went...
in East Kildonan?
Just over on Henderson. I think it's closed now, though. That was almost 20 years ago.
But I lived there for 10 years, 15 years ago, so I'm just trying to figure
out. It was a small little restaurant. I don't know, kind of near was it the Norvilla or...
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I think I might know where that is then. I never went there, but I think I can in my mind, I can figure that out. Okay.
So he was looking to buy... or not buy, but he was looking to rent an apartment around there. And he was telling me he was looking into... putting down a deposit. The strange things actually started happening before he died.
Oh, really?
There were different signs. In retrospect, hindsight is 20/20. In the months and weeks leading up to his accident, part of the strange things that happened were involved even just him telling me that he was going to be going on this weekend trip, and I didn't realize it was the last time we were going to be speaking on the phone. I'd called to
so heartbreaking.
Talk to my parents, and he said that August 1st he was looking to move, and I said, "Did you put a deposit down yet?" And he said no, and I said, "Well, you better do that quick. You don't want someone else to take it."
Was it an odd procrastination that's sort of like,
Yeah, I wonder,
Yeah.
But it was only a few days before he died when I said this to him, and he was going for just one night on a weekend to his old high school, Wilcox, Saskatchewan, Notre Dame Hounds.
Okay.
That's famous hockey school in Canada where a lot of NHL players get scouted from.
Okay. I'm naive to that, so okay, that's cool.
No.
I did not know that.
And he was going back there to pay tribute to a friend's dad. They're doing a garden dedication to his friend's dad who passed away.
Okay.
And so, but yeah, it was strange when I thought about it at that phone call, how I told him, you better put a deposit down. Because I had this feeling that he'd be gone for a long time.
Oh, okay.
Even though he was only planning to go for one night for that weekend.
Right.
So that was a strange thing that when I was looking back on it. And as we were getting off the phone, I had this inner voice telling me to say, I love you. Just before I get off the phone, before I say goodbye.
Right.
But it's that toughness that we weren't one of those lovey-dovey families, that say, I love you all the time.
Yeah, I get that.
And I just stopped myself. That pride stopped me from saying it. I love you.
Yeah.
And now, of course, I always regret it. That was the last time I spoke to him.
But you know what? To give you comfort, and I'm sure you've done 100 things sideways and upside down to give yourself comfort, but you have to understand that you can't live in that moment for regret because that is the norm, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You have to be able to rebuild your life in the way that you understand that was the norm. So then,
but he knew.
You can't.
But he knew.
But that's just
that's
just
it. It's just
like
words, though, right?
Yeah, but it's funny that your intuition, that little inner voice, will tell you something.
Just say it, just for
I know
validation.
That intuition. I know what you're saying.
And I think, from my experience, that people should learn from that. To don't be afraid.
No,
to say I love you.
Just do it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's what I've learned.
Go with your gut.
Yeah. No.
So, it was a sunny afternoon on a Sunday in July 16th. It was his birthday. He was turning 27 that day.
Oh, shit.
And he was returning home. He had free tickets for the Kiss concert. His friend had got them for him. He was so excited. He was saying, I can't believe I'm going to the Kiss concert on my birthday. My parents and I were out looking at open houses because the condo they were in, my brother was living with them still, had very thin walls, paper thin walls. And actually, that was what my brother was looking forward to, moving out into his own place for the first time. He said, it's got soundproofing. That's really important. He could play his loud music, his music as loud as he wants.
An undervalued quality.
Yeah,
sure.
And then, where was I?
Sorry.
It was
condo.
July.
Yes, July. Yes. So we were out looking at open houses, and I remember it distinctly. It was around 3 p.m. I had this Pikachu toy that was like and I was squeezing it.
What year was this again?
2000.
You were Pikachuing.
Yeah, I got it from when I lived in Japan in 99.
Oh, shut up.
No.
Yeah.
Do you still
Did
have
you
that
really?
Pikachu toy?
I don't think I do.
Damn it, find the Pikachu
You
toy.
lived in Japan?
Yeah.
Holy shit, man.
For 6 months.
Oh, that's
and
awesome.
Taught English.
Cool. Did you do that?
Yeah.
Good for you.
So you taught English?
Excellent.
Did you ever meet Andrew Davidson? Did you by chance?
No.
Because he's the famous writer from from the Pinawa, and he went over there for 7 years. He wrote The Gargoyle. Have you ever read that book?
No.
No? It's quite the book. It's quite amazing.
Oh,
It's a love story that transcends generations and past lives. And,
Really? Interesting. That would be a good book.
There you go.
You know what?
The
If
Gargoyle.
you can promise me I get that book back, I'll lend that to you. You
That
might
would be
like it. It's
great.
quite intricate. Anyway, he taught Japan.
He taught
English in Japan.
Domo arigato. He went there for 7 years, and that's when he was creating his plan for this book that got rejected. Samurai, right? So I know all this blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's so cool for you, just to like uproot and go.
Good for you.
Holy crap!
And
How old were you?
I was 23.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Just a
99.
baby.
Yeah. So it's that's